Hello, everybody, and thank you for watching this pre-recorded video. For those of you who are watching live, and for those who are going to watch the replay, thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Lena Lassiter. For those of you who do not know me, I have my master's in human services counseling with a cognate and crisis and trauma. I am an advanced grief recovery method specialist, director in corporate America, and author, and founder and president of Forever Healed. Forever Healed is a nonprofit organization, and what we do is that we assist those who are dealing with a broken heart due to a loss of any kind. We want them to restore, we want them to reclaim, and we want them to recover their lives. So, again, thank you all for watching this pre recorded video tonight. Sorry I couldn't be there with you live, but still do what you do. Let me know that you watched. Show me some love. We have a family emergency tonight, so I had to go and take care of that. But I also wanted to talk about this topic tonight that's been near and dear to my heart. And before I get started, I just want to say this because maybe some of you are going through some things. I just want you to know that the weapons will form. They are going to form, but they shall not prosper. And if it seems like that you are going through challenge after challenge after challenge, I just want you to ask God to help you to think upon what's true, what's noble, what's just, what's pure, what's lovely, of a good report, virtuous, and praiseworthy. Right? So just lay claim to the sound mind that you have been given. And again, remember that the weapons will form, but they shall not prosper. I just want you to think on those things, right? What's true? Do not believe the lies that may be coming to attack your mind and invade your mind. So I want you to think about what's true, what's noble, what's just, what's praiseworthy, what's of a good report. Okay. So I don't know who that's for tonight, but I just want you to remember that. Just lay claim to your sound mind, right? Because we have a sound mind. We have power, love, and we have a sound mind and self-discipline. So keep your mind stayed on God. He will guide you through. And when you're going through challenges, the great thing is, gosh, you have God guiding you. You have God protecting you. You have God, giving you the instructions on how to make it through. So again, there you go. Just a little extra nugget tonight for someone who may be going through tonight. Tonight, I want to talk about grief and loss and suicide among our aging population. But before we get started, I cannot move forward without thanking our partners. I want to thank the Richmond City Police Department, their homicide support group, and I also want to thank the Richmond City Sheriff's Office, who we partner with as well and provide our services to. We offer one-to-one grief recovery classes. We offer group classes. We go into corporate and talk about the hidden cost of grief in the workplace. We go to churches and we talk about grief and trauma in the church. So we're out here in the community trying to give back. So let's talk about our aging population. So although suicide is no longer among the top 10 leading causes of death for the aging population, according to the CDC, people ages 85 and older have the highest rates of suicide. So tonight we're going to discuss grief and loss of the aging population, what they may face. Some of them are coping with life-threatening illnesses and perhaps are dying. So for this population, there are a few basic needs, right, to include maintaining their sense of self. They would like to participate in decisions about his or her life. They want to be reassured that their life still has value, and they need to receive appropriate and adequate care. But not all individuals who are of advanced age have a life-threatening illness, right? Some are just simply coping with grief and loss. So some have dealt with the loss of a spouse, the loss of a life partner, loss of siblings, friends, peers, adult children. Some of them have even lost their grandchildren, and some their pets. Additionally, some have experienced the loss of their homes, their health, their mobility. Some coin these as like little deaths. So I heard someone in the mental health field coin this as little deaths that they have experienced over the course of their lives. So, think about it. Sometimes we don't think about the aging population, right? Our elderly population as those who will grieve. But guess what? They will grieve more than most of us because they have endured a lot of those little deaths, right, throughout the span of their lifetime. So as you can see, the aging population, they're faced with grief overload, is what I call it. They don't necessarily have the time or resources needed to process their grief. So what I'm hoping with this broadcast tonight is that when we see, our aging population, that we would have a little bit more compassion to understand what they're going through, right? Because again, as someone said, they have endured a lot of little deaths over the course of their lives. Again, I say that it's just grief overload that they have experienced. And then if we factor in some things that may have happened to them in the home, remember we always, are taught what happened in this home, stay in this home, right? So they're carrying all those things, with them, in addition to other losses that they may have endured. So the single most significant factor associated with suicide behavior in the aging community is depression. So older adults may contemplate suicide when the life review process results in a sense of despair about the meaning of their lives, when they experience physical or mental debility that limits their functioning or independence, when they experience the death of a spouse or again a significant other, especially if that person that whom they had been dependent for care and support, passes away. The thought of being institutionalized may appear to undermine control over his or her life, right? So going to a long-term care facility or nursing facility. So those who are grieving need social support. We talked about this before. They need adequate nutrition. They need hydration, because sometimes when you grieve, you forget to eat. So that's where that tradition came from, right? Where people would bring grievers or mourners, they would bring them food because a lot of times they would forget to eat. Some individuals will end up drinking alcohol, which dehydrates us. So the griever needs hydration, they need exercise, and of course they need rest. But the most important thing that the griever needs is the presence of a caring person. The presence of a caring person is the most helpful thing that we can provide as a community. The CDC also identified social connectedness as one of the factors that may help prevent suicide, um, which is an influence in all age groups. So, how do we help this population? How do we help our aging population deal with all the little deaths and the grief that they may be experiencing? So, number one, we can volunteer as a pen pal. We can volunteer as a pen pal. So you can look up the Center for Aging, in your area, and see if there are organizations that have a pen pal program. You can reach out to nursing homes or assisted living facilities in your area, and see how you can volunteer as a pen pal. Adult daycare centers, you can reach out to them. And if there is not one in your community, I encourage you to start one. You can start one, right? So you can start your own volunteer program as a pen pal for some of our, for those who are aging, hospitals, again, nursing homes, assisted living facilities. So we can reach out and become a pen pal. You can deliver meals. So there are a lot of organizations in your community that deliver meals to the aging population. So again, you can go serve in some capacity. So you can deliver the meals, you can actually put the meals together, but you can serve in some capacity, or you can donate. Meals on Wheels or other community resources that cater to this population. You can also teach a class. So, in order for them to see hope or value in their lives, um, they like to learn. So, you can teach a technology class. You can teach a class on insurance, whatever your skill set is. If you know how to crochet, you can go and teach. So, I know here in Richmond, U of R, they have this LLI program, right? So this Lifelong Learning Institute program for the aging community. And they have classes. I have gone and taught a grief class. So if you have a skill set, you can actually volunteer to go and teach, this population. So you can teach a class. Also, you can do game night. So the game night can be in person, again, at some senior communities in your areas, or you can virtual game nights with them, right? So even if you have someone in your family who's aging and they may not have a lot of social interaction, you want to make sure that you're reaching out to them. Maybe you can do virtual game nights, right? With them just to provide some of that social support that we talked about, earlier. And then the last thing that you can do, support groups. So churches and community centers, you can have support groups for this population. Provide transportation to your church or to your community center for them. That way they can just come and just engage with one another, interact, with other seniors in the community, but offer some type of support groups for this aging population. So again, thank you guys for watching this pre-recorded video tonight. I hope that it was helpful, that it will help you to cope maybe with someone in your family or a friend who's aging. And you might see some signs of depression or isolation, in that individual. So I'm hoping that this video will provide tools for you to be able to help them, and also some tools that you, if you are, of that community, to help yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to recap real quick, and then we're going to call it a night. So again, tonight we talked about grief and loss that the aging population may face. Right, some of them are coping with life-threatening illnesses. Some of them are coping with the loss of a spouse, a life partner, their siblings. Sometimes they're the last sibling, who's alive, the loss of their friends. Sometimes they have lost their support group, their peers, adult children. They start to lose adult children. Some of them have lost grandchildren. Additionally, some have experienced the loss of their homes, their health, their mobility. Again, some coin these as little deaths, right? They may experience over the course of their lives, right? So again, the aging population is faced with grief overload, y'all. So the single most significant factor associated with suicide behavior in the aging community is depression. So how do we know if they're depressed? We need to be there. They need a caring person to be there to show them some support, okay? So those who are grieving, they need social support in addition to nutrition, hydration, and exercise and rest. But tonight, I just want to stress being connected to them, that social support. So we can volunteer as a pen pal, we can deliver meals, we can teach a class, we can facilitate a game night, and we can also have support groups for this population in our churches and in our community. So again, this is a pre-recorded video. I thank all of you for joining me tonight. If you feel that this broadcast will bless others, I want you to share it. I want you to share it. I want you to share it. And I want you to have a peaceful rest tonight. And again, like, comment, and share this video. Have a peaceful rest, you guys, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. God bless.